Okay, trying to keep these little promos short and sweet. Jesus, is there anybody who's not having a Black Friday deal? God, every website, every ad, everywhere I turn, I got a Black Friday deal. Well, we're no different. So here, just bring it to your attention. Be going all week. 30, 35, 40%. Got to use these codes. Easiest way to keep track of this, if you're considering it, is come over to our Twitter feed. Or write us, right? You can always write us. We're easy to reach. Okay, guys, there you go. There's the pro. Okay, guys, we'll finish up here with a look at Litecoin. That was our third in the poll. Now, so this is, there's this great similarity here between, from what we did 3 coins today. We did Matic to the dollar, Ethereum, and Litecoin. And it's the same thing that I kind of referenced in when we started. See, if I wick off the wave 1 low here, do we have this range down here? Is this just a support line for us? So let's just do it this way. Same kind of idea. If I just use that wave 1 pivot, get right on that. I mean, we're just coming up to it. So it's kind of, you know, it's that thinking that this is just a baseline of support here. We've gone so far down that perhaps this is a well, certainly it's a last stand to keep this as an internal retracement. I mean, it's internal right up to the tick low, but you know, we're getting mighty deep here. I do think this is, in the interest of simplifying here, again, probably 5 Elliotticians give you 5 different counts here, but I think the idea, if you can simplify, I always prefer to. So I think it's, again, we can probably complicate the fuck out of that, but I think this is better to just think ABC. There's just no reason to dig into the W. There's a lot of ways you could probably count that, but I think if we're going to hold here, I think this is simplifying here is not doing any harm. You know, the question is, do we have enough here? Is this a start of something? It's questionable. Now I'm going to take this off, because what I do want you to see here, as we come down to this, and we can take this off as well, we get a very clear series. Obviously, right, algos are in here. We get a very clean series of measured moves coming down here, starting there just tick to tick, right? So we start at the first one. We go here. There's 50 to the tick, algo target to the tick, right? We've done Litecoin quite a few times here, so we've seen that before. So this one's perfect. Now we go, let's draw it up again. So now we have to do it this way. So that's our last pivot where we got it. So here we don't quite get. Yeah, that was it. So we don't quite get here. Vegas wave seems to hold us here. We get another one. Then we go here. This one. All right, so we get right on that. So just shy of Vegas wave. Now we're a little shy of that target. There was one more in here, but I can't remember. You get the idea here. It's just been one measured move after the next here. Now we're coming a little shy of target. Oh, I know which one it was. It was this one here. I think it was this one, right? So it's perfect golden zone. So we see now we're just coming to second target on that. So if I take this one off, yeah, there was one more in here. So we have this one from this, because this was a pivot, this was a target. Now we go back here, we come shy of the golden zone. We're just a hair off of that target here. You know, is it some structure maybe holding us up here? Hard to know. But we can get a count that completes down here. It's a little, you know, again, it wouldn't be your, you know, if you could draw it up, that wouldn't be the one you'd prefer. You know, it would have been ideal if we had come down here and done just an A, B, C, even here or here. I mean, this would have been just great, right? We could have worked a count into that, and off we go. But we don't get it. It's just got this move, just as these series of measured moves just continue. Now that potentially we've got something started here quite early to make that claim, right? Because you'd have to assume that the next thing we're going to do is bump into the algo that'll be there looking to sell it for this series to continue, right? You trade them until they fail. So if we get this dialed in here, the next move up here, you know, how do you not consider that? At least, maybe not necessarily trade it, but I'd certainly be watching to see, can we get through here? If we don't, it's just, you'd assume that it just carries on, right? Now we're pushing down here at 36. We'd be breaking the wave 1 structural low here. We wouldn't be at our absolute low. Our absolute low is down here. Was it $20? 22? Here's 22. So you know, you could keep that going. We're going to need that to change because every retrace has been just right into either a golden zone or a 50. Every retrace has been just a place for algos to feed. So they've worked it all the way down. For this to change, we've got to see a break. So this will need to break through that next 65. But of course, right, you know how it works, right? You'll have to go back one again. Now it'll have to break this one. Then you'll have to go again. Right? Every one of these pivots that were in play, that were used by the algorithms on the way back, right, will be in play. It'll have to break this one. Then it's got to break the big one. So it's just a series over and over and over again. Before we can really declare that we've got a new trend, we got to break that one. Long way to go, right? So that would put us breaking up here. We'd be at 111. What are we at down here? 41. Yeah, I mean, you know, so let's see if I can do this. We've done similar things, right? Pretty close. It's not crazy to think we could do it. We're damn close. So we're going to need a major trend change for that to happen. Here, we get that off of that. So could that be it? Well, you can get an ugly count to work here. You got to finish with a diagonal down here, extension in the 1. Got to go ABC, ABC. Yeah. I know it's not great. So is that an ABC here to finish us? Well, you know, it's maybe a little bit of a stretch here. It looks more like it's an impulse. So if I'm on an 8-hour, let's go to a 1-hour. All right, does that look like an ABC? It doesn't, does it? All right, so you got to be a little bit cautious about saying, oh, low is in, since we're looking for diagonals, right? So because of the overlap here, see that? Let me just make that clear. Because of the overlap here, we're trading this as a diagonal. So we got to finish with an ABC. Yeah, you could probably, come up with that, right? You wouldn't. That's not the structure you'd hope for clarity and conviction in your count, right? So does it work? Well, yeah, it does. But it's, you know, of course, right? You'd rather see something like that to make it just so you don't have doubt. Well, here could be, well, maybe. You know, there's a little geometry we can put on this. I think I had some over here. I had a channel, right? We can look at that. So let me pull back to a 3-hour here. So this is fairly steep for a channel here. Now it becomes a question. Let me pull this off here as to how you use the geometry here. So I'm connecting, I'm looking to connect here multiple pivots here. So I get 1, 2, 3. So because I have so much movement outside, now here we're down by the center line, I'd likely here's one technique. You guys have seen me do this before. Did I get that? Let's clone it. That's what I'm trying to do. I think I did it right. Yeah, there we go. So I might go to 1 here before I double it. Oh, I guess I did it twice. Before I double it, I'd start here because I'm picking up this edge here. Obviously, we could just take it right out here, and that may be a factor if we're going to start to go here. I'd be looking for some of that geometry to come into play, right? That's potentially just some resistance here. It's just an easy way to get that to double it, right? Since I don't have the ability, as in some other packages here, where I can add lines. I've just got to clone it and double it. So I'd be watching for that. Now and we're going to have to see what's going on across the crypto space. Could we be getting started on something here? It's gonna, that's what we're gonna need. We're gonna need a nice clean motive to come out of here. So it's a little bit of a shaky 5 to come down here, but we're so deep and we're pumping into that structure and all of those measured moves that I just showed you here. I think you got to be cautious about the buy side until at the very least we see this 65 break. At least then we can get a buy side algo on our side. Right now it's just all sell side, right? There is no place for a buy side to get into play, right? We need this and then we need that. Then we can get a 50 or a 618 there. But right now there's nothing, no room for it. So it's just sell side, sell side, sell side. So as we come up here, you got to anticipate that at the very least there'll be some resistance, looking for that. Then, now what's that going to give you, right? That's going to give you potentially the better, God damn it. Can I do it? All right, here. we get right on these. Okay, so then we'd have something a little bit more consistent with that idea that we had finished the larger ABC, maybe the 2, but we're going mighty deep there. Oh shit, let's get the 8 hour here. Now, how far down are we? If we get to this pivot, and a last stand for a wave 2, that's the 887 right there. All right, so I've seen it before. It's not like it never happens for the wave 2 to go to the 887. Again, long way to go back up. You know, we're going to need a big rally. I mean, just radical trend change. So I'd be reluctant to be aggressively buying on this particular move because that resistance is like just teed up there waiting to happen, and it makes the Elliott count look a little bit sweeter. So you come down here, then it gets very hard to buy down here, but you know, your stop's under the pivot, so you're kind of back here saying, hey, is this the range? Is this the accumulation zone? We're coming all the way down here to this pivot where we'd have the 887. Again, it wouldn't be the craziest thing I'd ever seen. Right now, clearly, sellers, right? Every retrace has been sold and has gone right to target. We're mighty deep down here. Again, that's the 8 hour. No signs of buyers taking control, so I'd be cautious about buying into any of that, right? That would be just a FOMO buy. Oh shit, here it goes. Well, not until you get through that 65. I wouldn't go near it. I wouldn't even consider the long until you get through. Is then I pick up the buy side. Right? Do you see that? So this guy gets blown out, and now I pick up the buy side. Right? So he comes in, we kick here, and potentially. Right, now we'd be testing that, right? That's the original trend line from that trend line channel. Now you're looking for that. Now I get an A, B, right? So if I saw that, then I'm back here. I got to live with this as my 5. And now I'm thinking 1, 2 here. If, right? If 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we go. Now we're coming out of the hole. We've had the deep 2. You know, this is your baseline here. So it's potential. It's there. The potential is there to come out of here, but you can't wish it to happen. You got to get it confirmed. All right, guys. There you go. All right, I think we're gonna be. Yeah, we'll be around, but I don't think we'll be doing videos tomorrow. But we'll be back on Friday. Certainly, we'll look at Bitcoin on Friday. Okay, guys. There you go. Have a nice Thanksgiving.